Hands are the easiest thing to draw. What do you mean you don't believe me? Rude. Okay, so maybe hands aren't the easiest thing to draw, but they can be made simpler for you. Stay tuned. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Andrea, otherwise known as Lothlenan, and I give art discussions every Wednesday. Today, I'm going to be talking about a much requested topic, hands. How to get good at hands, how to draw hands, the whole deal. So here's the thing. Hands are incredibly expressive, but they're also kind of weird. I mean, think about it. Like, actually look at your hand. It's like we have these huge bird claws, 5 bony appendages that can individually function. Hands are weird. I love hands. I couldn't draw without hands, but if you objectively look at a hand, hands are weird. What's more is hands are both expressive and characteristic. You can pretty much tell if someone leads a life of delicate privilege or a life of hard manual labor simply by looking at their hands. For example, my hands, I have an artist bump on my finger here from holding a pencil. And even though I have quite like soft, smooth hands, I do have weightlifting calluses. There are loads of things you can tell by looking at someone's hands. In my case, you can tell I'm an artist, you can tell that I'm active at the gym, and you can tell that I am a relatively young person. Also, my hands are like down here all the time, but I am like quite expressive with my hands as well, which is also something to do with character. What is it that I can tell you to help you master these strange extremities? Well, copy the people who do it best. Yes, I said copy. And my suggestion to you is to copy Milt Kahl. Now, who is Milt Kahl? Milt Kahl is one of the 9 old men of Golden Age era Disney. And Milt was the man when it came to hands. He was the hand man. So what I'm going to recommend you do is an exercise that they actually teach at high level and high expertise schools. Draw Milt's hands. Draw them 100 times. Draw them until you don't even need to look at a reference anymore to draw them. Draw them until they make sense and you can make up your own drawings based off of what you learned. Do this, work hard at it, and you will undoubtedly up your hand drawing game. In fact, no cap, this has been on my to-do list for ages, and this video gave me the perfect excuse to finally attempt it. Well, first, I want you to imagine the gesture that you're trying to create, okay? We have it easy here because we know what we're trying to replicate because we have Milt's hands in front of us. We need to focus on the structure and the negative space and the gesture. That sounds complex, I know, but trust me, it's really not. Check it out. First, we draw the structure of the palm, which is kind of like a square, rectangular oblong. Now, the short end is the end where we're going to attach the thumb, and then the long, straighter, kind of like, it shouldn't be completely straight, it should be a little bit of an arch. That's where the fingers are going to go. The thumb is the trickiest part, and it's easiest to think of it like a bendable drumstick. So if this is the bone and then this is the meaty part of the drumstick. Next, imagine that the square has volume. So it's not just flat, it actually has dimension to it. Which means that there are fingers coming out of this thing. And it's kind of easier to draw a mitten first, showing the silhouette of what it is that you're going for. So you can see that that makes a mitten shape. And then just take your fingers out like this. This is really weird and awkward for me because I'm not drawing in my usual position. Now, if you look, your middle finger is the tallest finger. So make sure that the little arch of the fingers gets the tallest at the middle finger. And of course, you have to draw the meaty pads of the thumb, and it all tapers down to the wrist. Focus on the negative space. I'm going to use a different color for this actually. Focus on the negative space that you see between the extremities, and that will help give your hand more clarity. So see how this goes in here, and it's kind of like juts out here. Look for anything that can serve as a point of reference. And just remember, it's like a drumstick and a square and like sausages, okay? So drumstick, sausages, square. The square is the palm, the drumstick is the thumb, and the sausages are the fingers. Technically, the fingers are 3 linked sausages because there's knuckles, so it would be like 1, 2, 3. But I think that's a few too many sausages to draw, so I just draw the 1 and draw the knuckles in myself. I'm not a sausage fan. And with that lovely personal nugget of information of me not being a sausage fan, I wanted to show you a few time-lapse drawings of me doing my own Milt Kahl studies. So in consideration of the previous drawing that I showed you regarding the drumstick and the sausage and the square mentality, break down the hands using that mindset. So we have the bottom of the palm is that one element of the square. The top has a bit of a slight curve to it, and we're going to draw it as a mitten before we put in the fingers and the actual thumb joints and everything. And of course you can practice like moving the fingers because the palm itself won't necessarily have to move in order for the fingers and the thumb to take different gestures. So practice with that, and that will help you get comfortable with drawing hands in different positions. And it is always helpful to use reference. I am a big fan of using reference. But doing studies like this will just make you a bit more comfortable in translating those references into drawings that don't seem like such a puzzle to piece together. Because you know how sometimes you look at something and you're like, oh, I don't know where I'm going to start. Start with this. And then go draw your hands. Draw hands from life. Draw hands from your imagination. This will help you get to that point. I cannot reiterate enough how important this is for helping you to easily transition into drawing hands. And if you want to try this for yourself, I have resources for you down below in the comment section, so make sure to check that out. Of course, this is for educational purposes only. If you found this video helpful, please do me a huge favor. Please leave me a comment, hit that little heart button to let me know you liked it, and share it with your friends. And if you're already a subscriber, please remember to hit that little notification bell in the corner so you don't miss my next upload. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, all of the socials. I'm even on Pinterest now. Links to my social media accounts are in the caption. Thank you guys. See you next week.